Hey y'all, welcome back to Country Glamour. Today I'm going to be doing a look using the James Charles x Morphe palette, but today I'm going to be doing a more wearable look that's also related to fall, so I'm going to be using some darker reds and some browns. So if you want to know how to achieve this look, just keep watching and I'll see you in a little bit. Alrighty y'all, so I'm going to take my Sonia Kashuk blending brush and dip into the shade Mary. This color is a rusty orange. It's almost like the color of red clay, like red dirt to me. So basically I am just going to put that in my lower crease and on my lid, and I decided to zoom you guys in so that y'all could see what's going on. I know the quality isn't perfect, but for the time being this is what I have to work with. I don't have enough money to go get a nice fancy camera right now, so I use my phone to record this, and I also use my phone to edit. So I would like to start making better quality content for you guys, but for the time being this is all I have to work with. I still want to make videos for you guys, so this is as best as I can do, unfortunately. Like I said, I'm just kind of packing that on and blending it out, and the little cuts in between these different scenes are mostly just because there's a lot of times where I'm looking down or grabbing more of the shadow, and I know if I have it zoomed in on my face that you'll end up seeing my forehead if I'm digging in my palette, and so I wanted to kind of keep it more focused on the eye as much as possible, because sometimes I tend to be a little bit jerky with my motions. So you can see I'm just packing it on mostly by the outer corner of my crease, and then just bringing that up a little bit, but I'm still keeping this pretty low because I don't want this to get taken over, to take over all of my eye. So just kind of going back and forth in windshield wiper motions, patting it on, doing circular motions, just trying my best to blend that out but also have enough coverage. These shadows are very pigmented, so that does help. So now I'm going to grab my E18 brush and I'm going to go in with the shade Love That. It took me a second to decide which one I wanted to do. So I used this in my last video. This is almost like a purpley pinkish maroon shade. I didn't want something that was super red. This has the perfect color of what I wanted. So I'm pretty much just going to pack that on my lid. As you can see, I'm literally packing and somewhat dragging, but mostly just patting it on there, and then I'll start to sort of blend that out a little bit, and I'm pretty much just going back over all of the color that I had put on originally. So pretty much just going back over the shade Mary, and just trying to darken it up and deepen it up a little bit. So whatever you have to do, stamp it on there, use windshield wiper motions, whatever you have to do to make this look nice and blended without there being lines of demarcation or just looking crazy. So yeah. And now I have a Morphe M433 brush with no product on it, and I'm just going around those lines, that outer edge, just to make sure it looks nice and blended. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the shade, what is this shade? Boutique. I don't remember him talking about that shade. This is on the E18 brush again. So this is just a darkish brownish copper. I don't really know how to describe this shade, but it is very pretty, and I'm just putting this all over the lid, and I'm going to keep this as low as possible. I want to try to keep the darker colors on the lid and then start using lighter colors to blend out the crease. So I'm kind of going in that lower crease, but I'm still keeping it a little bit lower than where I had initially put the shade Mary. But again, blending it out, windshield wiper motions, patting it on, just making sure that the pigment and color is exactly what I need. Off camera, I did put some translucent powder underneath because this shade did have a little bit of fallout, but I also was going in with the shade pretty heavily, and there was a little bit of fallout. So now I'm using my E17 brush, which is a small, short, dense, little detailed / blending brush, and I tipped it into the shade T. While I was looking at this shade while I was filming, this has a little bit of olive-y, almost pukey undertones to it, but this is almost a cool toned brown. So I'm pretty much just packing that on the lid, again keeping this pretty low. This is the shade that I'm going to keep the lowest because this shade ends up being pretty dark, and literally just packing that on there. And I don't know if you had noticed, but I dragged that shade Love That underneath my eye on my lower lash line, and then I did the same exact thing with that shade Boutique. So I literally just kind of brought both of them down with the same brush I was using, which is the E18. So yeah, just keep on packing it on there. I think here in a second I will grab a bigger blending brush and kind of yeah, I'll grab that E18 brush and kind of just go over it. So I'm just kind of going back and forth between grabbing my bigger E18 brush and grabbing this E17 brush, packing on the product T with the E17 brush, and then I'll grab the bigger E18 brush, and then I'll kind of go over those lines. Now this is a Morphe M441 brush. This is the brush that I use quite often. This is a tapered blending brush, and it's really light and feathery, so it blends everything else out nice and smoothly around the outer edge. So I have the shade here. This is one of the bigger pans in the palette. It's called 10% Off, and this is like a rusty brown shade as well. It's almost like a coppery shade to it, and I'm literally just going around the outer edges so that everything looks nice and blended. So with this, just be patient. Use those small little circular motions that I'm doing right now, and a good tip is to kind of do a circular motion, leaving the tapered part of the brush as much as you can on the actual crease color that you put on there, and kind of blend it up a little bit, like small itty bitty little circles in each spot around that crease edge, and that will help blend it out and have a flawless, gorgeous blend so that everything looks like it was just made perfectly. But I will say that all of these colors blend together really easily. All the colors in this palette do play very nicely with each other. I haven't used these colors with any other palettes, but this palette does have pretty much everything that I need, which is really exciting to have something like that is just perfect and beautiful, and I can use it every day, or I can use it for nice colorful looks like I've done a few for you guys. And this is just such a beautiful fall look that I loved this look. When I recorded this, it was pretty late at night. I didn't realize, but I didn't get done recording this until like after 10 o'clock. And then I was like, I want to go somewhere. I look so pretty now. So now I'm just using a small little brush. I'm not even honestly sure what kind of brush this is. I don't think this one has a name either. This is just a Morphe like detailed brush, and I'm going in with the shade Face, which is that coppery gold champagne highlight in that palette, and I'm just going in the inner corner. I didn't want like a bright ridiculous highlight. And if you happen to see a shadow in the background, my husband was home with me and he's walking around, so don't think like, oh god, there's a ghost in your house. It's literally my husband just walking around. So that is pretty much going to do it for the eye look. So I'm going to jump off of here, and then I will continue talking to you guys in the next scene. I also wanted to add real quickly that before I jump into the next scene, that I did put on some black liner underneath, and then just literally grab that shade that had T on it and go back over it and add some lashes. Alrighty guys, so now that I am done with my eyes, I'm just going to put on my quick lip product. So this is the E.L.F x ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip, and this is in the shade 951, and this shade is very beautiful and fall appropriate. So I'm going to just apply that real fast. Alright, so that completes this look right here. All I would need to do now is just spray my face with setting spray, but everything else is done. So this look is very fall appropriate, and you can wear it out. This look may not be for everyone. It is very bold and dramatic, but it is definitely something that you can wear, and it's pretty simple. You only need 2 or 3 colors to complete this look. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this tutorial. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up to let me know that you enjoyed this video. And then if you want to join the Glam Fam, I would love for you to join by subscribing. Alrighty, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.